see you every time. And oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna cry. And now I'm back to see you dance just one more time. So I say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. They say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, ooh, ooh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
And welcome back to Vanessa's podcast. So I have a great guest for you today. We have a health coach who's going to tell us some amazing stories.
When I hear your voice, I know finally free. Every single word is perfect as it can be. I need you here with me. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back, horse tag is attached. That is my black, got the boots that's back to match. Riding on a horse, yeah, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been above that Porsche. Now can nobody tell me nothing? You can't tell me nothing. Can nobody tell me nothing? You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my blood. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. My life is a movie, movies.
Alright, welcome back to Vanessa's podcast. So today, it's going to be a great show. We have Loren Lockman. He's going to be with us. He's a health coach, expert, and I'm going to call him right now. And I heard that he has helped thousands of people over the years to fight type 2 diabetes, coronary disease, health disease, people struggling with us, and it's very encouraging to have like this that can be here today and give us some great advice and stories. Alright, so let's give him a call. Alright, it's ringing. And it should be. Hope everybody's doing great today. On this lovely day. And I hope you enjoyed the music. Still ring. Alright, let's give it a second ring. Should be here soon. Hello. Hello there. Nice to have you on the show. How are you? Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, finally, got you. Yeah, it took a few seconds, but yeah, on. Yes, I can hear you. So, Mr. Lockman is a health coach, and you have helped over 130 countries. Loren, okay, fine. Is that a main name, or I never heard that for Maine? So it's very unusual. So you have helped over 130 countries and over 12,000 people in your lifetime?
That's right. Over the last 30 years, I've been coaching people.
So tell me about your practice. You're a health coach. And so what do? And you like to fight against type 2 diabetes, coronary disease, help people with weight loss?
Yeah, well, I don't... right, so my practice is about helping people. There's really two primary things. One, it's helping people understand what's optimal. How to optimize their health by meeting all of their body's needs as well as possible. And so that focuses on diet, exercise, sleep, pretty much every aspect of health. The other thing that we focus on is detoxifying, cleansing and healing the body. Mm-hmm. And we do that through water-only fasting.
Okay. So what does that mean exactly?
Well, first of all, fasting is nature's way of allowing the organism to cleanse and heal. So if you look at nature, there's estimated to be 25 million animal species, most of them insects. Virtually every species. I don't know, Vanessa, if you ever had a cat or a dog.
Yeah, I have a cat.
That got sick enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if your cat ever gets sick enough or badly enough injured, it'll lie down and stop eating. It'll refuse food. And they do this because every species instinctively knows that, of course, we need to be taking in fuel, which is what food is. But on a day-to-day basis, processing food takes more energy than anything we normally do. And so what typically happens, what animals want to do is instinctively they want to rest as completely as they can to allow the body to heal. And this is exactly what we do here. So people come to my center. I've got a physical retreat center in Costa Rica, a beautiful location up in the mountains. It's gorgeous here. We're on 37 acres.
What?
And we can handle 44 guests. And it's beautiful. It's in the 80s Fahrenheit all year long.
Oh my goodness! How long is the retreat for, and how much does it cost?
Well, how long people stay is up to them. We book guests by the week, so 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 weeks at a time. Our average guest spends 4 to 6 weeks with us, with 5 being the most common, and that costs just under $4,000 for 5 weeks. Excuse me, for 4 weeks. 5 weeks is about $4,800.
Okay.
It runs around $900 a week, roughly, something like that.
Okay.
And that includes everything except their transportation to and from it and optional massages. And so they rest completely as possible. There's education every day, but mostly it's about resting as completely as possible and sipping perfect water. We have water on site that comes up out of the ground, and we pump it up to a holding tanks and then distribute it to all the bathrooms on the property.
Oh, so it's an off-grid type of situation. You're getting your own natural source water. Oh,
that's
nice.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we have it tested regularly because anything coming out of the ground can change from time to time. So we're always having it tested once every 2 to 3 months, 3 months roughly. But it's always been close to perfect. pH between 6 and 8. It's clean as possible. No color bacteria. It tastes amazing. It's clear. I wish you could see. I've got a beautiful glass sitting right here in front of me.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
So tell me, you said you had some great stories you wanted to share. Maybe some people who have experienced that.
I think it yes, and we can explain the process by sharing what happens. I think it's important to start by making sure people understand this very simple idea I said earlier. Right, every species instinctively fasts when ill enough, and the reason why is is because cleansing the body and healing the body, both of these are biological processes. And what that really means is that drugs, herbs, no substance, nothing can heal the body. I mean, people think all kinds of things are healing the body or cleansing the body, but both these are biological processes. And so, if I can, Vanessa, maybe it would be useful to share just a little bit about my own story. I don't want to take too much time. I'm not that interesting. But
okay.
I graduated from school at 23, and I took a little extra time. I spent some time at the U.S. Air Force Academy and then transferred to a regular university. I took some time off between the two. So I graduated at 23, and about 6 months after I graduated, I found myself later diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, chronic sinusitis, systemic candida, and never having been allergic to anything, I developed 57 allergies. And so I could barely function, and I spent most of the next 3 years in bed. I couldn't study completely. I bought a house at 23, and I had to work to pay the bills, but I was really capable of doing very little.
It sounds like you were so young. You were so young to go through something like that.
I was always an overachiever. So I started using marijuana and alcohol at 14. Oh. And I started working at 14, earning money. And I grew up in a household where there was no junk food at all. We couldn't drink soda or eat crap. We had lots of fruit, and we had a big salad with every dinner and 2 vegetables. So, my diet was clean, but as soon as I had money, I started buying the junk food that I wasn't able to get at home that I wanted. Mm-hmm. And so, I think the combination of drugs, recreational drugs, alcohol, and crappy food.
It's a pretty bad one.
Didn't help. And I took a job out of school, but I continued partying. So I was going out until 1 or 2 in the morning, and then coming home and getting up at 6 to go to work, and that didn't work too well. And in fact, it's interesting, but a lot of people use coffee to get through the morning. Mm-hmm. And it was one day I was going back for my 5th or 6th cup of coffee before lunch when I realized that I was addicted to caffeine, and I wasn't to be addicted. So I said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to drink any more coffee. Well, about a week later, I realized just how exhausted I was. I had chronic fatigue, but I'm covering it up by drinking coffee all day long, right? Constantly running on this caffeine high. I stopped drinking it, and I could tell how exhausted I was. And what ultimately, I got worse with 3 years of medicine. Right now, this may be news to some of your listeners. I grew up outside of Washington, D.C. It's very, very conventional, conservative, at least in terms of health. All I knew was Western medicine. Mm-hmm. It took me 3 years to figure out, as I was getting worse all the time with medical care, that there was no way they were ever going to help me get well when they never ever addressed the cause of the problem. They didn't know what the cause of the problem was, but what they were doing was simply suppressing symptoms with drugs. And the truth is, that's all medicine ever does.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. So they weren't going through the source of the actual problem or trying to cure anything. Yeah, they were just trying to suppress the symptoms and you were experiencing.
The symptoms. This it sounds like you get this, but a lot of people don't. There may be someone listening who still thinks that if they have no symptoms, they're healthy. But people suppress symptoms all the time, and that's way different than being healthy. Because in fact, the symptoms that we experience are part of the process of cleansing and healing. So if we suppress symptoms with drugs or herbs or anything else,
then who knows what's going on with your body, You have no idea what's the right problem.
We feel better. We feel better, but we're actually more toxic than before. Mm-mm. Right? So we're not getting healthier at all. And that's what was happening. I was getting more toxic